Walk through any dealer lot in America right now and you'll notice something strange. The cars getting all the attention are the same 5 badges everybody already talks about, while a handful of genuinely solid vehicles sit off to the side, marked down twice, and completely ignored. That's the used car market doing what it always does, punishing a vehicle for its name long after it stopped deserving it. After more than 2 decades around used cars, inspecting trade-ins, tearing into engines, and watching customers make the same expensive mistake over and over, I've learned one simple truth. A car isn't not worth your money because it's broken. It's not worth your money when the price doesn't match what you're getting. Right now, there are 7 vehicles where that math has flipped completely. They used to be overpriced. Today, they're some of the smartest used buys in the country. Today, I'm counting down 7 cars that are no longer worth what people used to pay for them, because the market has quietly beaten the price down so far that they've become some of the best deals around. We'll cover the years and trims to look for, why buyers avoid them, what's happening under the hood, and what to check before you hand over $1. Stick around, because the #1 pick is the vehicle I recommend most when a friend asks what to buy and keep for 10 years. Let's start the countdown. Number 7, the 2018 to 2021 Buick Enclave. Say Buick to most people under 50, and you'll get a laugh or a comment about their grandmother's garage. That reputation is exactly why a 3-row Enclave with reasonable miles can often be found for thousands less than a comparable Pilot or Highlander, depending on trim and region. Even though this generation shares its bones with the Chevy Traverse and GMC Acadia, a platform GM spent years refining. A retired school teacher I know wanted a Highlander around 38,000 miles, but couldn't get past the price. I showed her an Enclave with similar mileage for 7,000 less. 18 months later, her only expenses have been an oil change, a cabin filter, and tires. Mechanically, the 3.6-liter V6 in these Enclaves is the same well-proven engine GM has used across a dozen models for over a decade. It's not turbocharged, it doesn't rely on cylinder deactivation tricks that cause headaches later, and parts are cheap because the engine is everywhere. The interior is quiet and the ride is soft, and for a lot of buyers, especially seniors, that matters more than a sporty badge ever will. Compared to a similar mileage Highlander, you're often looking at a difference of $5,000 to $8,000, depending on condition and service history. Before you buy one, check the timing chain for cold start rattle, inspect transmission fluid condition, review service records for regular oil changes, and test every seat and infotainment function. Who should buy it? Someone who wants a quiet, comfortable family hauler and doesn't care about the badge. Who should skip it? If resale value matters more than purchase price, a Toyota holds its number better. The only reason this thing is cheap is because the market is still judging it by a name instead of an engine bay. Number 6, the 2016 to 2020 Mazda CX-9. Buyers walk right past this one because Mazda still gets filed under compact cars, not 3-row SUVs. That mental gap alone can knock several $1,000s off the asking price in markets where buyers don't realize what they're looking at. A young father I know almost walked away from a CX-9 in favor of an Explorer, assuming the smaller brand meant higher repair costs. In reality, his Mazda dealer quoted brake pads and rotors at nearly half what the Ford dealer wanted. This generation uses Mazda's turbocharged 2.5-liter Skyactiv engine, tuned for real-world torque rather than horsepower. It runs on regular gas in most trims, and the 6-speed automatic is conventional and well understood by independent shops, unlike the complex 9 and 10-speed units in some competitors. Against a Ford Explorer from the same years, you typically avoid the finicky electronic parking brake and steering column issues that plagued early Explorer redesigns. In many markets, a clean CX-9 with reasonable mileage runs around $18,000 to $24,000, depending on trim and condition. Before buying, check for turbo whine or delayed boost response, inspect the timing chain tensioner, verify all-wheel drive engages properly, and pull service history to confirm regular oil changes. Who should buy it? Families who want genuine third-row usability with a more refined interior than most competitors. Who should skip it? If you need to tow anything substantial, this isn't built for that job. Mechanically, this is not a compromise. The compromise is explaining to your brother-in-law Why you didn't buy the Explorer. Number 5. The 2015 to 2019 Nissan Murano. This one gets penalized twice for the Nissan badge's uneven CVT reputation, and because its swoopy styling confuses buyers who expect boxy practicality, so it sits longer on lots and gets discounted. A neighbor was cross-shopping a Murano against a Lexus RX for his wife. The Lexus was nearly $9,000 more for comparable mileage. He bought the Murano, and outside routine maintenance and one CVT fluid service, it's been trouble-free for 3 years. Here's the nuance. Nissan's older CVTs earned a rough reputation, not entirely undeserved on certain models and years. But the Murano's version, particularly from 2015 onward with revised cooling, has performed noticeably better in independent repair data than the transmissions in Nissan's smaller sedans. Regular CVT fluid changes are essential, and buying one without service records is a real gamble. Against a Lexus RX or Acura MDX, you're often looking at a gap of $6,000 to $10,000 for comparable comfort, though the Lexus typically holds resale value better. Before buying, insist on CVT fluid change records. Have the transmission inspected by an independent shop. Check for shuddering during acceleration, and inspect the timing chain guides, a known wear point on this V6 at higher mileage. Who should buy it? Someone who wants near-luxury comfort without paying luxury brand prices. Who should skip it? If you can't verify the CVT service history, walk away. On this vehicle, records aren't optional. A neglected Nissan can absolutely be a worse buy than a well-maintained Buick, Mazda, Ford, or Hyundai. This is exactly the kind of vehicle where that rule matters most. Before we get to the top 4, if straight, no-nonsense used car advice is useful to you, hit subscribe. I've got more videos coming on the vehicles dealers push hardest, and the ones that actually deserve your money. Number 4. The 2017 to 2020 Ford Fusion. Sedans get ignored right now because everyone wants an SUV, and Fusions specifically get ignored because Ford discontinued the model, making buyers nervous about long-term parts support. That fear is mostly unfounded, but it tanks resale prices in your favor. A college student I know was looking at a used Camry for about $15,000. I pointed him toward a Fusion SE with similar mileage for around $11,000. 4 years of commuting later, his total repair bill outside maintenance has been one battery and a set of tires. The 2.5-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder in the base SE trim is the one to look for. Skip the turbocharged EcoBoost engines if reliability and low complexity is your priority. Fewer components to fail, no turbo oil and cooling demands. It's a boring engine in the best possible sense. Compared to a Toyota Camry or Honda Accord from the same years, you're typically saving $3,000 to $6,000, though the Toyota and Honda will resell for more since buyers chase those badges reflexively. Before you buy, check the transmission for smooth shifting, inspect for check engine lights if considering an EcoBoost trim, verify timing belt or chain service depending on engine, and check the suspension bushings, which wear a bit earlier on this platform. Who should buy it? Commuters who want a comfortable, quiet sedan and don't care about brand loyalty. Who should skip it? If resale value in 3 years matters to your plans. Dealers may not be excited to show you a discontinued Ford sedan, but your bank account absolutely will be. Number 3. The 2013 to 2018 Toyota Avalon. This one surprises people, because it's a Toyota. But even Toyota's flagship sedan gets ignored when it's not the RAV4 or Camry everyone already knows to ask for by name. Buyers see Avalon and assume it's an old man's car, and that perception alone knocks thousands off asking prices in many regions. A retired mechanic friend, ironically, almost bought a used Lexus ES for his wife, before I reminded him the Avalon shares most of its mechanical guts with that same Lexus, at a lower price. He bought the Avalon. 3 years and 40,000 miles later, it's needed nothing but tires, brakes, and oil changes. The 3.5-liter V6 in these Avalons is essentially the same engine found in the Lexus ES350 from the same generation, paired with a conventional 6-speed automatic. No turbo, no dual-clutch complexity, no direct injection-only fuel system prone to carbon buildup. About as close to bulletproof as a mainstream sedan gets. Compared to a similarly aged Lexus ES, You're often looking at a gap of $4,000 to $7,000 for what is, underneath the sheet metal, largely the same car mechanically. Before buying, check maintenance records for regular oil changes. Inspect for oil consumption on higher mileage examples of this V6. Test the transmission for smooth shifting, and listen for timing chain noise, though failures here are genuinely rare when maintained properly. Who should buy it? Anyone who wants a quiet, low-drama sedan and values mechanical peace of mind over an exciting badge. Who should skip it? If you need all-wheel drive or real cargo versatility. Most people don't ignore this sedan because it's bad. They ignore it because it doesn't make them feel exciting at a stoplight. That's exactly why it's such a good used buy. Number 2. The 2018 to 2021 Chevrolet Traverse. That Avalon was the safe, quiet pick. This one is the vehicle mechanics actually argue over when their own families need a hauler. The Traverse gets overshadowed constantly by the Pilot and Highlander in comparison articles, which pushes resale prices down even though it's genuinely competitive. A coworker spent weeks going back and forth on a Pilot versus a Traverse for his growing family. The Pilot was priced almost $6,000 higher for comparable mileage. He went with the Traverse, and 2 years and one set of brakes later, he calls it the easiest financial decision he's made on a vehicle. The 3.6-liter V6 here is the same engine found in the Enclave we mentioned earlier, meaning parts are cheap, and any independent shop has seen it 100 times. Stick with the naturally aspirated V6 rather than turbocharged 4-cylinder trims if simplicity is your priority. Compared to a Honda Pilot or Toyota Highlander, you're commonly looking at savings in the $4,000 to $7,000 range for third-row space that's genuinely more usable than either competitor offers. Before buying, inspect transmission fluid condition and shift quality. Check for recalls related to the power steering system on early production years. Verify the timing chain doesn't rattle on cold start, and check the third-row seat mechanisms for smooth folding. Who should buy it? Larger families who need genuine third-row space without paying a premium for a fashionable badge. Who should skip it? If you plan to trade it in after 2 or 3 years and care most about resale value. Dealers won't fight you for this one. Mechanics quietly will. Number 1. The 2017 to 2020 Honda Ridgeline. This is the one I would buy tomorrow with my own money, and it's the reason I wanted to make this video in the first place. Truck buyers dismiss the Ridgeline instantly because it doesn't behave like a traditional body-on-frame pickup. It rides on a unibody platform shared with the Pilot, skips the 2-speed transfer case for serious off-roading, and truck forums love to mock it for not being a real truck. That perception has kept resale prices well below the F-150s, Silverados, and Tacomas sitting next to it, even though it solves a different problem better than any of them. A retired contractor I know was dead set on a used Tacoma priced near $31,000 with almost 90,000 miles. I walked him over to a Ridgeline with similar mileage for $9,000 less. Once he realized he mostly hauled mulch, lumber, and the occasional motorcycle rather than boats, the decision became obvious. 2 years later, his only expenses beyond maintenance have been a battery and tires, and he still mentions the lockable in-bed trunk every time I see him. Mechanically, this truck is built around Honda's well-proven 3.5-liter V6, the same engine family that's powered Pilots and Odysseys for years. It's paired with a conventional automatic, and because it shares components with Honda's SUV lineup, parts and repair costs run noticeably lower than traditional truck platforms. There's also no separate frame to rust apart from the body, a real failure point on older body-on-frame trucks in Salt Belt states. The unibody construction purists mock is, mechanically, one of its biggest long-term advantages. Compared to a Toyota Tacoma with similar mileage, you're commonly looking at a price gap of $6,000 to $10,000 while getting a smoother ride, better fuel economy, and genuinely useful features like the dual-action tailgate and in-bed trunk. The trade-off is towing capacity and true off-road capability, which matters enormously if that's your actual use case, and matters not at all if it isn't. Before buying, check transmission fluid condition and shift smoothness. Inspect the bed trunk seal for water intrusion, since the drain can clog. Verify there's no unusual highway vibration that could indicate driveshaft wear. And check the timing belt service records, since this V6 uses a belt rather than a chain. Who should buy it? Anyone who needs occasional truck bed utility for home projects or weekend gear, but doesn't need to tow a boat or crawl over rocks. This is the vehicle I recommend most when someone asks what to buy and keep for a decade. Who should skip it? If your work genuinely demands heavy towing, low-range crawling, or maximum bed length, a traditional truck will serve you better. This truck isn't a compromise dressed up as a good deal. It's a smarter design the market hasn't caught up to yet, and every year that stays true, the price gap gets a little wider in your favor. So there it is, 7 vehicles that used to cost more than they should have, and now cost far less than they're actually worth. The Enclave and the Fusion are the budget sleepers for buyers who want comfortable, low-drama transportation. The CX-9, the Murano, and the Avalon are the smart middle ground, where near-luxury comfort meets mainstream pricing. The Traverse is the family hauler mechanics quietly recommend to their own relatives, and the Ridgeline is the one I'd buy and keep for a decade without a second thought. Before you buy any of these, remember a badge tells you almost nothing about the condition of the vehicle in front of you. A neglected Toyota can be a worse buy than a well-maintained Buick, Nissan, Ford, Mazda, or Chevy. Get a pre-purchase inspection every time. Ask for service records before you ask about price. And remember that mileage, region, and maintenance history matter more than the year and model chart. If this kind of honest, straight-talking used car advice helped, give the video a like, subscribe for more of these breakdowns, and I'll see you in the next one.